New tourism plans for Hua Hin. Is digital currency the future of Thailand? And the murderer of a Swiss woman in Phuket has been sentenced to death. That's all coming up on today's Good Morning Thailand. Hello and welcome to Good Morning Thailand, brought to you by Coffee Culture and Twin Palms Residences Montezur, presented by Tim Newton and Jay.
Thank you very much, and good morning, welcome. Who shot that opening? The cinematography was incredible.
It was pretty good.
I nearly got run over doing that.
Roger Deakins style. You were on the floor.
I was on the ground.
The commitment was absolutely amazing.
I nearly run over by a Volvo. But if you are going to get run over, Volvo's not a bad car.
Yep. Right, ladies and gentlemen.
Just saying.
Yep. Quick update. As always, we do have timestamps, so you can go to the brief part where we do talk about news occasionally.
It's taken me 5 days to get back from Pattaya.
Yes.
I had to walk. But thank you very much to Natty, who's fully recovered and back in the office. But yeah, it took me a few days to get back. Had a few stop-offs along the way. Did a bit of busking on my way back.
Hitchhiking?
Yeah.
Is hitchhiking and busking the same?
No. Busking is when you sort of plop down in the street and you put out your hat and you start playing an instrument or something.
Oh, okay.
That's busking.
Oh, busking for money.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I see. All right.
Because I was using a grand piano and it was very heavy to lift around.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple of serious topics to start off today. The first one being regarding the Swiss national who was murdered in Phuket. Her murderer has been sentenced to death. Now, there's more information on that. Let me give you some background information. A Swiss woman's body was found in August last year in a Phuket creek. It was Nicole Sylvain Weisskopf, 57-year-old Swiss national.
I'm so happy you had a go at that.
Yeah. Well, she entered Phuket through the early sandbox scheme, and media reported that she was an assistant protocol chief of the Federal Assembly of Switzerland. Now, the Thai man who confessed to her murder was sentenced to death.
I've got the details. Just this morning, a Phuket Provincial Court considered that he murdered the woman with intention. Big high-profile case last year. So the court sentenced the man to the death penalty. But as he confessed and explained his actions throughout the questioning, the penalty was levelled down to life imprisonment, which usually happens in Thailand. There hasn't been any death sentence carried out since I think 2017, where the man voluntarily wanted to be executed. And before that, we have to go back to about 2008 for the last execution, so extremely rare in Thailand. And usually, if they confess, their sentence is commuted to a life sentence. Their death sentence is commuted to life. And in other cases, His Majesty the King would usually give them a pardon, which would commute their sentence to life imprisonment.
All right. More information on that on thetiger.com. You can check regarding that news later today.
Yeah, it was a big story at the time, and because the sandbox had just opened, there was so much focus on Phuket, and she was very high profile, and it was quite a brutal murder. So, obviously some finality to that particular incident this morning.
All right, Carmel's got a question.
Hans is asking, how do they carry out the execution? Are there already details on that?
In Thailand now they use lethal injection.
Yeah. All right. Our second topic is regarding the Prime Minister. Now, the Prime Minister, for the first time, actually, surprisingly, has refused to confirm that whether or not he will complete his term. And or outright deny the possibility of an early House dissolution.
Well, he was sort of asked questions and he prevaricated.
Yeah.
He hasn't actually said, I'm going to stand down, or there's going to be an early election, but it was what he didn't say that has prompted this news today.
What he did say was, it's up to me to make a decision. Why should I tell anyone in advance? He's only the Prime Minister.
Yes.
The situation will be the deciding factor. Everyone should put the country first. That is a way to say I'm going to keep you guessing.
Yeah, the Thai constitution, the Thai prime minister does have the ability to call the election.
Yeah.
That's the same situation in Australia as well. The prime minister usually reserves that right to call the next election. It has to be held next year. But earlier yesterday, Prawit Wongsuwon, one of the deputy prime ministers, sort of stepped in the ring, and he made a comment.
That's right, and he said he basically admitted that he talked about the possibility of a House dissolution, but said that it was just a personal opinion.
Yeah, pretty much he threw the prime minister under the bus. That's sort of what he did. There's been these two have been very close since 2014 when they had the coup. And over the last year, the relationship's become very fractured, partly over Tamanat Prompao.
Yes.
The not alleged, he was sentenced for heroin trafficking and served 3 years in a Australian jail, although he insists that it was just misunderstanding.
Of course.
And it was only flour, apparently. But all
the
that
pink
aside,
flower that grants you invisibility.
But the Prime Minister wanted Tamanat out, and Tamanat was sort of a bit of a mentor of, he was getting a lot of support from Prawit Wongsuwon, so there was a split over that. And I think we're going to see a few more shenanigans between the factions in the coalition government. And my feeling is that the Prime Minister's probably not going to be able to get all the way through to the next election, but even he's now sort of wavering a bit.
Yeah. Welcome to the game, to the politics games. Is that a smart way of like getting your point across and saying, that's just my personal opinion. He's entitled to his own opinion. I don't know what's going to happen.
Sure, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. He threw the Prime Minister under the bus.
He did. All right. Let's talk about Hua Hin for a moment.
Oh, okay.
Now, new tourism plan for Hua Hin, in particular the district of...
How do you say it?
Prachuap Khiri Khan. What?
Okay, you've got the province, but how do you say the name of the city?
Hua Hin.
Hua Hin.
Hua Hin.
Okay.
Sure, let's go with that. Now...
not as controversial as Pattaya.
Oh, God. Pattaya. It's a melody. Just think of it as a melody.
Pattaya.
Right. Now, there are plans... Stop it. There are plans for a new strategy to revive the tourism in the popular coastal province of Prachuap Khiri Khan, which includes, in most popular place being Hua Hin. And yes, basically, the provincial governor has come out and said, look, we've been hit hard by by COVID. Hua Hin's struggling. We need more people to come in. So he's basically gone to each city in the district in Prachuap Khiri Khan and said, all you officials who are in charge of your districts and areas, come up with new plans and new activities so that we can attract all types of people, whether they're young, whether they're mature, families, and let's bring back Hua Hin to life.
Yeah, very much the focus was on domestic tourism. But, I mean, which area in Thailand wouldn't be saying they've been ravaged by the pandemic or the reaction of the Thai government to the pandemic over the past 2 years? Everywhere. Phuket's probably...
Even Phuket.
Yeah.
Even somewhat Phuket, yeah.
Phuket's had the most support with its sandbox, but it's been truly struggling. The numbers coming through Phuket at the moment are around about 3% of what was going through the turnstiles pre-COVID. So even with all the support and the sandbox and the test and go, and it's probably got more hotels open than percentage-wise of any province in Thailand at the moment, including Bangkok.
Yeah.
But even with that, they're really struggling. And now, of course, with the Russian tourism down, no Aeroflot flights anymore. Haven't seen one there arrive for the past 4 days at least. So it looks like that's over. So the people from Russia or Ukraine who are currently in Thailand are sort of stuck here at the moment unless they can find a way back through like a Middle Eastern airline. But they are, I think, getting some support from their local embassies. But yeah, for Hua Hin, like everywhere else, they're now saying, well, we want ideas. How can we attract domestic tourists? Yeah. Because getting foreign tourists is still going to be a bit of a battle until they, release the shackles, the chains off this Thailand pass. But we've got more about that with the poll coming up.
That's right. Well, in the province of Prachuap Khiri Khan, the three places that will be targeted are Hua Hin, which is in Pramburi, Samroyot in Khuiburi Muang, and Thap Sakhe Bang in Sapan Bang, Sapan Noi.
We should say that Muang,
Muang.
which I cannot say, but it basically refers to the city centre
Yes.
of any particular area. So if it's the Muang
Muang.
area of Nakhon Ratchasima, it's like the sort of the main city centre. When you hear that term, that's what it means.
Nakhon Ratchasima. Yes. All right. On that note, we're going to take a quick break. Once we come back from the break, we will have 2 Minutes Thailand with Nan, as well as some more lighter stories, which includes a Bangkok football player going full Muay Thai on the football pitch. That's coming up right after the break.
I'm trying to find the stream. We're on.
Hello.
Yes.
We're on.
I'm trying to find the stream. Here we are. So I can follow your... Oh, there we are.
You've got to mute it, otherwise they can
now-
hear us.
Now I can see your comments.
That's right. But Carmel's here.
Yeah, I can't actually see Carmel from where I am. She's
Carmel's hiding
The
behind an umbrella.
umbrella is hiding me, but I'm here.
I don't know why she puts those umbrellas up to hide her.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take a quick moment to thank Coffee Culture for sponsoring the show. With a mix of 18 different roasters and 200 different types of coffees, find your fix of coffee at coffeeculture.asia, as well as Twin Palms Residences Montezuma.
Oh, yes.
Now that's a fancy place.
I'm
But
thinking...
a place worth having.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we've probably got another outside broadcast coming up, perhaps down in Phuket.
That sounds fun.
At Montezuma.
Montezuma.
Would be very, very nice indeed.
We're coming.
I remember last time I was at their office,
Yep.
a long time ago, they had the best coffee.
Yeah.
It might have been Coffee Culture. I don't know.
Possibly.
But I sort of, when people say Montezuma, I think, that cup of coffee I had there.
Forget about their residences.
Yes.
Forget about their properties. The coffee, though.
But Coffee Culture got their lovely mugs as well.
All right. It's now time for 2 Minutes Thailand. This is where you get to learn about different aspects and cultures about Thailand, basically. Presented by Nan. Today's topic is Ban Chiang Archaeological Site.
Today, I will show you one of Thailand World Heritage Site, Ban Chiang Archaeological Site. Ban Chiang Archaeological Site is one of Thailand's most important archaeological sites, located in Ban Chiang Subdistrict, Udon Thani Province. It is a prehistoric human habitation and burial site and has been listed to UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1992. It is considered by scholars to be one of the most important prehistoric settlements that have been discovered in Southeast Asia so far. It shows the development of the wet rice culture, typical to the region, which had the advancing technology for farming by using metal for tools and personal ornaments, as well as social developments. Historians noted that the first appearance of the potteries date back more than 5,000 years ago, from the years 1495 BC to c. 900 BC. Discovered in 1966, among them are skeletons, axe heads, clay rollers, bells, and large numbers of pottery. However, Ban Chiang is the base known for the red-colored ceramic pottery found there in large numbers. You can visit the Ban Chiang National Museum, which has all the knowledge you need to know about Ban Chiang history and culture from the past to present. Displayed there are ancient objects, film skinnings, and various other educational materials for you to learn more about. If you have a chance to travel to Udon Thani, Do not miss visiting Ban Chiang archaeological site.
And welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Thailand, and I hope you've learned something new about Thailand. I know I have.
We obviously have been the culture of Thailand goes back a lot further than I thought. So thank you very much, Nan. Very informative indeed. I've got a note here from Robbo who says, Tim, since you turned your phone on the stream, my picture has gone stop-start and fuzzy. Is this a coincidence? Yes, the phone's been on all the time, actually. It's just that since I logged into our stream so I could read your questions, including that one, I think it's maybe a bit like on aircraft. We have to turn our phones off so the plane doesn't crash.
Sure, let's go with that. All right, a quick thank you.
I have to say,
yeah,
if there was even the slightest possibility of mobile phones making planes crash or affecting the navigation, they would confiscate our phones while we're getting on the plane.
Probably.
Not quite sure what all that fuss has been over the past 10 years, but it continues.
Wayne Grosvenor.
Who's he?
He is a Thaiger member. A new Thaiger member,
fantastic.
So thank you. Thank you for supporting the channel. As well as in the live chat today is Kevo. I stayed on Friday night in Pattaya, and I finally found
I've seen the photos.
I found a seafood restaurant, and I met Kevo there. So Kevo, watching us live, thank you for saying hi.
We were assailed by so many people when we were down in
Yes, we were.
Pattaya. I couldn't believe the response.
Yeah.
We were quite shocked, and it was nice to see a lot of you too, especially when we did the broadcast down at the Marine
Beach Hotel in Jomtien.
That was lovely.
That was.
And that's a place I think I would go and stay next time I'm down there. Will we go back to Pattaya?
I would like to, yeah, definitely.
It was great to
Let's
see
hope
everybody.
some events happening so we can cover the event or see how the turnout's been.
Yeah. So good luck, of course, to all the people down in Pattaya. The places we went to, we said, I think in one of our headlines, that, it was really busy. And then people going, no, it's not. It's still closing at 11 o'clock and you only went to selected areas. Yes, we did go to selected areas, but those selected areas were quite busy. Yeah. Well, we can attest to that.
All right. Tim, you had an update regarding crosswalks.
Yeah, so this is some video, from the crosswalk nearby our office, and I just wanted to show that there is quite a lot of residual, what would you call it, support for the stopping of traffic at crosswalks, which is exactly what's meant to happen there anyway, the zebra crossings. This follows the hit and run the killing of an ophthalmologist back in January, and there was such a public outcry about it. So it was interesting to see the reaction of Thai drivers. I thought that after a couple of weeks that it would all sort of revert back to the crazy nonsense and the motorbikes rushing through. But at least at this particular intersection, police are on site there to help and control the traffic. But generally, I would say, because there's about 3 zebra crossings between the office and my apartment, and I would say that there is still quite a lot of residual improvement in the behaviour of drivers at crosswalks. So good on everybody for doing that, and let's hope it continues. And good to see the support of the police there during the busiest times of the day. So looks like there is some sort of commitment to try and improve the behaviour at crosswalks as it should be.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to address a poll, but before we do that, Carmel's got a question.
Yes, Stefan is commenting on the video that was showed, and he said that the crosswalk you just showed needs traffic lights.
Oh, all the crosswalks, especially in places like Asok, Nana, they need lights, they need signs, they need traffic police. Isn't there a button
that we're supposed to press, but it just doesn't work?
Well, no, again, it's not at every crosswalk,
Yes.
but the one just out here, outside our office, it doesn't have a button to press, but the 2 further down the road do. And when you press that, you usually have to wait about a minute until you can get across the road.
Well, those buttons are only useful if they're next to a stoplight. Otherwise, there's no point pressing a button.
Well, no,
the button's to let people know that that there's people waiting, and then the light goes.
Obviously, it's
red.
the ones which are serviced by lights.
Yeah.
Carmel. I see your hand.
Oh,
those are
yeah, okay, you can
dangerous,
see my
though.
hand.
Those are
Okay, Chocolate
dangerous.
Man in Thailand said that Pattaya is randomly upgrading the crosswalks as well, but honestly, education and enforcement is the only key to change on the roads.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And changing people's behaviour, especially on the roads in Thailand, is a really long slog. But I was happy to show that video this morning because it does appear to be some sort of residual improvement in the situation. When it comes to lights, I remember when I was driving to Melbourne Airport many years ago, and the taxi driver had a little clicker button. And this is like years before mobile phones or anything. And when he came up to a traffic light, he'd just lift up this clicker button and just go like this, click, 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 sort of aimed at the traffic lights. And after about 5 or 6 traffic lights, he did it at every traffic light. He said, well, it makes the traffic light go green if I use my clicker. I think it was like a remote control from his TV. I said to him, does it work? He said, oh, sometimes.
Okay.
He was actually convinced that, because half the time you get to a traffic light, it's probably going to be green or it might be red. But
He was on something.
But the times that it turned to green proved to him that it did work. And obviously the times it didn't work, there must be something wrong with my clicker.
Please let us know. Use your TV remote today and let us
See if you
know in
can
the
change
comments.
traffic lights.
Yeah, maybe it's possible.
That's a true story. He's probably still doing it, driving his cab around Melbourne, going click, 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 coming up to the traffic lights.
Thank you for the question, Chocolate Man in Thailand. Another person we met in Pattaya, great guy. All right, it's now time to address our poll. We asked you a question yesterday, which was, you have been promoted to the chair of the CCSA. Congratulations. You can make one declaration for Thailand. What will it be?
And we should say that the double CSA is the sort of the COVID czars. They get together every 2 weeks and they decide the ongoing policy for restrictions and just about everything COVID related. It's chaired by the Prime Minister. So we put you in control of the chair.
And about 4,000 people took part in the poll.
Wow.
The answer, with 52%, was remove the day one prepaid PCR test and SHA plus hotel booking. No surprise there, really.
No.
Yeah. In second place was, in 26%, said remove pre-travel online registration Thailand Pass.
Well, I suppose in some ways that those two are linked because the PCR test and the SHA plus hotel pre-booked is part of the Thailand Pass. But I sort of wanted to distinguish between the two there. It's interesting to see that people are more after the actual sort of the weapons, the SHA plus hotel and the PCR test, not just the Thailand Pass, which came second.
Yeah, 9% of you still say that make wearing a face mask voluntary. So, okay.
I thought that might have been number one.
Really? No.
Yeah, because people are just
Not with the
crazy about
choices we
face
gave them.
masks.
7% say remove the curfew on serving of alcohol, currently 11 p.m., all you alcohol lovers. And 6% say continue the current restrictions for the time being. That's a surprise.
Yeah, so I did want to give at least an alternative, which was, I'll keep things as they are. But
Yeah.
what, 6%?
Yeah, 6%.
Thank you very much for everybody who participated in the survey. We'll have another one today, which we'll read out tomorrow. We do the surveys most days, if I remember.
I understand the day one prepaid PCR test and SHA plus hotel booking, that needs to go, probably the first thing that will possibly be eased. But what's this problem with pre-travel online registration? I'm trying to adhere to the people who like to plan things out before they go on a trip. Because most people, I'm not talking about the backpackers, but most people traveling to another foreign country for the first time where they speak a different language, and even though it's a tourist hotspot, would already have pre-booked hotels, possible travel insurance, and, flight tickets. And so what's this problem with pre-travel online registration?
Well, I think it's probably more about the fact that it wasn't there before.
Okay.
And so that's why it's inconvenient. People used to be able to book a hotel online, book a flight at their own behest and just arrive in Thailand, get a visa on arrival in some cases, and then go about their way. The fact that there is now some paperwork or red tape imposition in the way of their coming. I think that's what it is. I don't think that uploading, for example, in the future, your hotel bookings and your flights, just that is a bad thing, because it does give the government at least some sort of documentation about where you're going to go and what you're doing in the country. But again, I think it's just the fact that it's there.
Okay, so the fact that it's mandatory. So maybe if it was a choice, it would be better, because maybe some travelers like the spontaneity of going to a country, getting visa on arrival, and great. For a person like me, when I travel, if I don't want to come to Thailand, stand in a line for 3 hours. I've just stepped off my, Boeing 777. There's 300 people waiting in line for visa on arrival, and then it takes me 3 to 4 hours to get from my plane to outside the airport. I would rather have it pre-booked and pre-planned.
So I think that's a good point. If there was some argument that uploading some basic details onto a digital platform before you came to Thailand, it would give you a speedy route through.
Thailand Pass, special lane, go through.
Special lane. Then I think there's a use for it, and people would love to use it. I probably would myself.
There's two things I don't like for visa on arrival. You arrive, you have to stand in that line to get your visa, then you have to stand in another huge line in the immigration. So that's like 1.5 hours, 2 hours, depending on how long you traveled. What a boring way to spend time at the airport.
Because I do quite a lot of travelling, I'm pretty efficient. I always get a seat near the front of the plane. I always try and get to immigration. I always make sure the TM4, TM8, TM6, the blue and white forms, all filled out before I get off the plane. People often wander off the plane and go, I've got to fill out the form. And that slows their progress. They go to the side and has anybody got a pen? And fill out the form, and then they end up, right at the back of the immigration queue. But if there was a Thailand pass, fast, sort of, I was going to say test and go, queue straight through, I think people would go for that.
All right.
You didn't listen to a word I said.
I did.
Carmel, she listened to me.
Yes, I did. Marshall Alney said that the pre-online registration is more complicated than you are making it. There's a degree of uncertainty. Hotels booked online are slow to get you the information, and prepayment is now non-refundable. You have to pay for all of this without certainty that you will get the pass.
Yeah,
and this is what others are agreeing with as well.
It looks like we've got until July, until they're going to get rid of the Thailand pass. That's what they're saying, and that's sort of the way that we're reporting it at the moment. So people who want to get rid of the Thailand pass before July the 1st probably got some bad news for you. But will they reduce the restrictions in the next couple of weeks to get rid of the day one PCR test, the day one SHA plus hotel? Even if they do that, I think it'll be a great advance forward.
I've got a ton of comments talking about me being pro Thailand Pass.
Yeah, you're so
I'm pro-choice. I'm pro-choice.
Don't go down that track.
No. I mean pro-choice for Thailand Pass. Some people, it's great being a backpacker. That's one of the fun things of traveling to Thailand.
As somebody says,
get your visa on arrival.
It's quite cumbersome. Like, for example, you have to upload JPEGs. You can't upload PDFs and other documents. It's quite specific about what you have to upload.
Yeah.
So I think that's sort of complication. If they could fix a lot of that, would also give it a much better reputation. Then there's been the scams and rip-offs.
It is also a lot complicated than perhaps what I said. I mean, in the future, if there's an option for the Thailand Pass where you just pre-prepare documents and put it on, and then you can get special treatment through the airport to save you time, that is something that I would be pro for.
You are so pro Thailand Pass.
Mark Wiley says,
you Thailand Pass lover, you.
This comment, I love this comment. Mark Wiley says, Jay showing ignorance again, has not completed the Thai Pass. Clown should stick to what he knows. Ooh, have I upset you, Mark? Oh, do you want to have a sip of coffee? What are you going to do about it? Sorry. Move on. Sometimes we get nice messages from our viewers, like this one, Tim. We've got a picture sent in by Rob Roy about the two tigers. Nim, are you putting the picture up?
The photo. You got the photo there?
The photo of the two tigers? I've definitely sent it to you. We're so prepared.
In the meantime, while Bill's trying to find the photo, it's a photo of what's the gentleman's name?
Rob Roy,
who's received his Thaiger painting, our famous Thaiger painting, and he's proudly displayed it on his wall at home, along with another Thaiger painting he's got. He looks like he likes collecting Thaiger paintings. Hello.
Yes. Thaiger painting. I'm trying to look for the picture.
Snoom hasn't got it, so but thank you very much, Rob Roy.
Yeah, Rob Roy.
Rob Roy.
Yeah, he had a
for
picture
sending
of
that
Tiger
in.
Woods and his own painting.
It says Tiger
really
Woods
cool. Yeah.
and our Tiger painting, so he
That's
does
right.
collect tigers.
Yeah, and I'm sure he knows background information on Tiger as well. All right. With that note, how long have we been going on? 45 minutes? 30 minutes, not bad. So we can talk about our last topic, which is regarding a Bangkok football player.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, you're a football lover.
Yes.
Apart from being a Thai pass lover,
Yeah.
you're a football lover as well.
Modified Thai pass lover. I'm going to get so much hate for this Thai pass thing because I have an opinion, and that's not okay. All right. A Bangkok football player was sacked after he struck his opponent with his elbow.
Now, I'm not really into the rules of soccer, but I understand it's a non-contact sport.
Well, yes, there's some, there are some physical aspects to the game. It's not like rugby or Australian rules football, yes, and a lot
So
of
when
the
they look at
times-
each other, they fall over on the ground and grab their knee.
No, you need to be touched, and then you need to make a audible squeak or scream, and then you get a foul from the referee.
Yeah, great.
Unfortunately, that's what the modern game's become. But a Bangkok football player, he was sacked after he left his opponent needing 24 stitches. So what basically happened...
look at there it is. We've just shown it. Oh, so a bit of that's a bit of a nasty Muay Thai move. What happened to him?
Well, the opponent basically, hit his leg, and he actually immediately tried to apologize to the referee, knowing that he knows he's done something wrong.
Yes.
He should have apologized to the other player because the player walked up to him and just smacked him in the face.
He certainly did. That's a bit of a Muay Thai move.
Yeah, I used to often joke about this. Is like when we were young, we'd be like, "Oh, you don't want to mess with Thai players. You never know if he knows Muay Thai. He's just going to kick me." But he could also elbow you.
Is Thaiger infringing on copyright by duplicating the Thaiger poster for sale? Well, no, we paid for it. We actually own that painting, the original painting, and we're well entitled to make copies of it. Thank you very much to PT Tan for the question.
Yeah.
Infringing on copyright. Okay, so is that person going to be banned for like 3 years for that move?
Who? No.
The play.
I don't know.
An
I don't
elbow
think
to the face?
He's definitely obviously got a red card in the game. We don't know the details of what the repercussions are for him in terms of can he play for another team.
Could you play it again, please, Norm?
He's only been sacked from his own team.
Well, it looked to me like that was pretty flagrant violence. And, I think he's going to spend a bit of time on the benches, as they'd say. But he should be, sanctioned by his club. You can't just go around and... What happens if they start kicking each other? Here we go again.
He's fired.
He has been fired?
Yeah, he's been fired.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, so job done.
What do you think I meant by he was sacked?
Okay. I didn't hear that part.
Oh, no. Okay, well, yeah, he was sacked. Now...
So he got pretty angry. He lost his cool and he...
well, I think that's a little bit more than losing someone's cool.
Yeah, especially in a game like soccer where you're not meant to touch people.
How dare you? It's the world's most famous sport.
I understand that. I understand it. I'm more of a
You're just
Australian
upset
rules.
nobody cares about Australian rules football apart from Australians.
Well, yeah, that's why it's called Australian rules football.
Yeah. But that is actually quite a tough sport.
Sure.
I mean, they wear really ridiculously short shorts, but they're quite tall and...
Yes, they are tall,
rough.
tough, and I think they went through the short phase, but I think they're a bit more toned down now.
Thankfully for everyone else. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. Once we come back from the break, we're going to take more questions from Carmel. She's upset with me. So we'll be back.
A Thai pass lover.
Yeah, we'll be back right after this.
Find the coffee roast you love most. Coffee Culture delivers Thai coffee online. Whole beans or pre-ground delivered to your doorstep in Thailand. Go to coffeeculture.asia and get coffee you love delivered to your doorstep.
Welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Thailand, and this is where we get to answer some of your questions. Kamal, you've got a question.
Yes. Tim, this is from Steve W. Wilson. What's the update on the Joe Ferrari and the Boss Red Bull case? Do you know anything?
We haven't had any recent news about either of those. I understand that the Joe Ferrari case is going through court at the moment. I'm not aware of any new evidence or information from the courts that has been worth passing on. But I'll check, I'll take that on advisement, and I'll check for you to see if there's anything we could follow up with. As far as the Red Bull case, he's still a fugitive. He's on the run. Thai police don't appear to know where he is. I dare say...
He is hiding in Austria.
Allegedly. But if we knew he was definitely in Austria, would there not be Thailand police heading... going to Austria to find him?
Isn't he on the Interpol red alert?
He's on
red notice.
A red notice, apparently.
So how have they? Okay, anyways, it is what it is. That's a sad case.
It's a very, very sad case, and I don't suspect he's going to be coming back to Thailand anytime soon.
And the fact that it was a police officer that was killed, they can't even go out of their way to get justice for their own. I'm sure they're trying their best, but I hope they are.
And coming back into Thailand, of course, those Thai police, if they did go to Austria, they'd have to apply for a Thailand pass, which Jay loves.
Any other questions, Carl?
Yes, Stefan H. said to make a Thaiger event in Bangkok, and you will see a lot of us locals, I think.
Yeah, we keep on talking about that. Where could we do it? Which location?
It needs air ventilation. It needs it needs to be an outdoor location.
Oh, because of COVID?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can't have it at a bar or anything? We could have it at a 7-Eleven.
Bars? How dare you? We don't have any entertainment venues in Thailand.
Oh, I'm sorry. A former bar turned into a temporary restaurant.
Yeah.
We could serve alcoholic beverages up to 11 p.m.
Of course.
Yeah, I think we're probably waiting for the COVID situation just to sort of calm down a little bit so we could have an event without having to worry too much about crossing the T's and dotting the I's. But we do want to do it, and Natty would like to come along. Carmel will come along.
Carmel's going to come along in her old age?
Well, we'll have to make sure we've got wheelchair access, but I'm sure be glad to wheel her along. She might have to have a good rest during the day before the evening, so she's up to it. But she should be up to it.
Evening tea.
Yeah, we'll drag Jet along. Jet's in town this week. He might join us for Tiger Bites again.
Yeah, good old Jason. Pattaya popular.
He was the only one of us that actually drank alcohol during the 2 days down there. Yeah. The 2 days we were there, all Pattaya got out of us was 2 soda waters and a beer.
Yeah.
We're not promoting beer, by the way. I'm just mentioning the
How dare you?
The generic product.
Tim's promoting alcohol. Will you be the last person to promote alcohol?
If Thailand Pass can make long-term visas easier, I'd be on Jay's team. That's a really good point. Mm-hmm. If you could somehow make the whole flow through immigration faster by pre-uploading some of your information onto a Thailand Pass or whatever you want to call it, I think a lot of people would be for that. If, as you suggested, you had that queue, and that queue was a lot faster and a lot shorter than the normal immigration queue, you'd get a lot of support. Yeah. There'd be more Thailand Pass lovers.
They should make it something worth wanting.
They've got to fix it up first so it actually works.
Yeah.
And you can upload different documents from different computers.
Like,
and
I'm
different
talking
files.
about like post-pandemic times, like no PCR test, this and that, just the documents that you'd normally have anyways, special lane in the airport. That would be cool.
And people asking what is the latest in the case of the actress's death. GRF Store asked that question. Well, we've reported that ad nauseum for, about 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. There is no new information today. The latest information on the death of Tang Mo, the drowning, was posted on the Thaiger.com yesterday. And there's no new information in the past 24 hours of value to pass on to you. If there was, we probably would have.
Yeah.
Although I'm sort of wondering, did you talk about this with Natty yesterday?
About?
Tang Mo's
No.
The media coverage and
yeah.
the social media coverage to me has been way out of proportion. So I would have liked to have heard Natty's interpretation of why it has been such a huge story. And even on the Thaiger, it's been the most popular story day after day for about 3 weeks.
Well, she's a celebrity.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
A conspiracy around a celebrity death.
Okay.
You know.
I'm not sure if it deserved quite as much media real estate as it got. But we've got Jordan here who's been covering it sort of almost exclusively for our writers team, and he's very into the story.
All right, I've got a question here from Spicy Roads who says, Does Jay's love of COVID testing make him feel safer? I wouldn't say I have a love for COVID testing, but...
Not as much as your love for the Thailand pass.
Yeah, but if I do an antigen test and at least I come negative on that test, it makes me feel safer going back home to my loved ones and my family. So in that form, yes. But, you know, if you get it, at this point... If someone gets COVID, like I know so many people, whether it's in our office, the people we work with, our colleagues, friends who've got COVID, I think everyone's a bit more, you know,
we're all gonna get it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we're all gonna get it at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think all of us, we still try to be as safe as possible.
Yeah, we certainly do, and we would suggest you do the same because it is still a virus that can kill, and there's this sort of information out of Hong Kong which we haven't really got a grip on yet. There's rumours about this the BA 2.2 variant. We reported on it on Monday, and it's only Hong Kong epidemiologists and health authorities talking about it at the moment. It's yet to be given the status of a variant of concern by anybody outside Hong Kong, but still we're obviously keeping an eye on that story because Hong Kong has gone through, I don't think it's overly complicating by calling it a shit show for the past 2 months. It's been horrendous what they've been. I saw a photo the other day of body bags of dead people from COVID in hospital wards with live COVID patients. That to me was the sort of thing I wouldn't have expected to see in Hong Kong. So they have gone through a horrible situation in Hong Kong. But I mean, we're not fear-mongering. We're just reporting that information because it is information that I think deserves to be watched and reported on if it does turn out to be something that we should be concerned about.
Yeah, I hope the situation in Hong Kong gets better. Stay strong, Hong Kong.
In South Korea today, how many cases?
They've got like hundreds of thousands of cases.
Over 400,000 today.
How many tests do they do per day?
Obviously, lots of tests. But that's a country of
400,000 infections.
Hey Siri, what's the population of South Korea?
In 2019, the population of South Korea was 51,709,098.
So you've got significant numbers, like 400,000. That would probably be the highest infection rate in the world. More so than even in the US, which has got 330 million people.
Yeah.
So yeah, South Korea is really going through it at the moment. They're going through their Omicron surge. It seems that Asia is going through this whole Omicron thing like almost 2 months after the US, the UK, Europe. Why is it 2 months later? It's quite fascinating. And why is it not going up and down as quickly as it did in some of those Western countries? Why is the curve slow going up and slow going down? So I think these things are of interest, and we'll keep reporting on it because, well, we do think it's interesting. We're in Asia. We're in the epicenter of this current surge, although it's much less lethal, and we think it's interesting to follow it.
All right.
Even if a lot of you don't want to follow it.
Last comment for today. About 462 of you watching. Please click the like button if you're enjoying the show. And perhaps subscribe as well.
That would be really good. And it takes you like seconds, and it really helps the algorithm.
All right. Last question from Dave Tombstone, who says, can you replay Jay shaming the viewer comment again? Dave, and all the viewers, I'd like to say this. Like, look, nobody wakes up in the morning and wants to be called a clown in general. But, you know, people just go on and feel like they can say whatever they want. At no point, you know, everybody has their opinions. Sometimes you don't agree with my opinion or Tim's opinion. They're just opinions. And you have your own, and that's okay.
I'm pretty sure Carmel's going to be cutting that bit out and
Let's
highlighting it and posting it on Instagram.
Let's live a happy life, and
Yes,
let's not
for
be
sure.
rude to one another. Life's difficult as it is already. You know, spread the love. Spread the love.
There's
Be
no
happy.
doubt that not so much the live commenters, but the commenters generally on our YouTube channel there are a lot of really toxic people. I think we're up to about 350 people just this year.
Yeah.
YouTube does block a lot of comments automatically, and then it's up to us to block some other really nasty comments. And a lot of the comments about one of our female presenters are just completely unnecessary. They do get deleted, although we don't bother blocking you. So, yeah.
Behave, boys.
But
it's all
behave.
good. But
And
it's all
girls.
good. Oh, and girls. Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed the show so far. And if you're having a good day, we hope you have an even better day. And we'll see you tomorrow live. So thank you, Tim. Thank you, Carmel. Thank you, Num. And thank you
Thank
for the
you.
viewers and members for supporting us all the time. Have a great day.